Well, last week we got the mortise and tenon work done on the axle hounds and the rear stabilizer bar. So with that joint work done, we can put this front axle assembly together, and that's what we're going to do this week. Where the Kingpin goes down through the sandboard in the axle, this is where the reach is going to attach, and there's a couple of wear plates that help to take some of that wear when the front axle is turning right or left. Well, to assemble this bottom fifth wheel plate on the top of this sandboard, they're fastened by two 1/2-inch bolts. Well, the old ones were pretty rotted out, so I'm going to fabricate a couple new ones. I didn't have any 12-inch bolts, but I had some 8s, so I'm going to make some new bolts to make the replacements for these old ones. Well, drilling these 1/2-inch holes out, they aren't exactly in line, but if I run a hot rod down through them, it does help seal the holes, and it helps the alignment also. as I was fastening the second bridge work underneath this axle, I noticed that one thread, one nut was stripped out, and I wasn't quite sure which was which. You can see that it's kind of jumping here. So I took it back apart, and the threads in the nut seem to be fine. It's actually the threads on this axle clip that are bad. So I could either weld it, but I like brazing a little better when I'm rebuilding threads. I sometimes go both ways. But I'm going to repair these threads so I can salvage this old axle clip. When I'm rebuilding these axles, these wagon undercarriages, I don't always get everything exactly back the way they were originally, even though as much as I try. Well, I was putting this side sway bar on. This sway bar helps catch the sway of the bolster as this is being driven in and out of rough country. Well, the left sway bar went on fine, but the right one, I noticed I didn't have things quite aligned up. The brace underneath the axle and the sway bar on top, you can see the holes weren't lined up at all. So I thought I had really messed something up, so I start running my tape measure around and seeing what's up. I thought, well, I could straighten this out because the top needs to go forward a little bit to match the hole of the brace underneath. Something didn't measure up, so I started just double checking. So there's a difference in the front measurement from the axle forward. There's almost 3/4 of an inch difference. I have 7 1/4 on the right side, I have 8 inches forward from the sandbar to the first bolt. Then I got to looking, maybe I should check the overall length, and as I did that, I found that the left side is longer than the right side. The right side is 3/4 of an inch shorter than the left side. So I actually am going to cut and extend the sway bar on this right side and get it to match up. So somewhere when this was built originally, however it happened, we'll never know that story, but these two sway bars were different. I don't know, but I'm going to fix it to where it works and they're going to be symmetrical this time. Now many of you have commented in the comment section, what's the difference between the Kingpin and the Queen bolt? Well, the Kingpin is what the front axle pivots on when this is turning, and the Queen bolt is what controls the tongue. Yeah, you can run that one out wherever you want to. Well, these last two plates is what sandwiches and reinforces this sandboard on the Kingpin underneath the bottom plate of the fifth wheel. Well, this is the final assembly on the front axle short of the bolster. Now the bolster is incorporated more integrally into the rear axle, so I'm going to build the front bolster when I build the rear axle bolster. So I'm going to do that maybe next week. We'll see how it goes. Once again, thanks for watching. Well, on the front of these two axle hounds is a rod that goes across side to side that operates. On the front of these axle hounds is a hole that goes clear across, or needs to be, and I decided to drill this freehand. Well, these holes accept the queen bolt. And now this has two pins in it. One is the Kingpin. Kingpin is what pivots the whole front axle, which steers the whole wagon. The queen bolt is the bolt that the tongue pitch. The queen bolt is what the tongue hinges and fastens to pull the wagon. Well, this queen bolt, and many of you have asked, what's the difference between a queen bolt and a king bolt? Well, you should know the difference between the king and the queen.